Enneagram is actually Latin for mysterious male decoder device.
First, I believed it. It's like, wow, that's incredible. And then it took me like a few minutes to figure out that you were just joking. Thank you so much for joining us again on Second Act TV. Today, I am so happy to welcome back Dr. Ramon Presson, licensed family and marriage therapist, the author of dozens of books on the subject, including 3 titles that you co-authored with Dr. Gary Chapman, the author of the 5 love languages. So Ramon, thank you so much for being here again today.
Kind of back on campus as an alumni for a reunion or something.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me back.
I'm very happy to have you back, especially today with the topic that, well, women around the world are clamoring for this. How to finally understand men, and in doing so, understand the dynamics of our relationships. You encapsulate this topic in your latest book, The Guy's Guide to the Enneagram. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, that's that strange word with the strange symbol that I saw on a bookshelf. Tells you how long ago it was. It was a Borders bookstore.
You know, that is just a recurring topic on this show, is understanding men, understanding women. And, you know, to just quickly jump ahead, the Enneagram, you've either heard of it or you haven't, but it's something that is like a well-established personality test that as I kiddingly refer to it, that nobody ever heard of. Because it's a little bit complicated. So my first question to you, what is the Enneagram?
The Enneagram is a really effective tool, and there's a number of personality assessment tools. About 95% of people believe that they are self-aware, but only about 10 to 15% actually are. We are really overestimating our self-awareness and self-understanding. We don't realize how we are showing up and how we are impacting others. The added benefit is it can help us understand those that we are in close relationship with.
Yeah, meaning men for women. Yeah. I know that. This is what I find interesting about your book. You wrote it really for men, fully knowing that women are the ones who are going to read it and buy it, because that's what we do. We buy, these books, but you made it very palatable for men, because instead of the symbol, this weird symbol, which I have. I'll bring a graphic up of it. You use this a baseball diamond, something that we can actually relate to. I think that's brilliant. And by understanding what, I guess the Enneagram, what that started was, there's 9 different personality types, and all of us, well, we all have a little bit of all of it, but there's dominant ones, right? And that's what we want to find out, not about ourselves, because that gives us a clue of what motivates us, etc. But knowing that about somebody else, then you can perhaps anticipate behavior. Is that accurate at all?
Yeah. What my wife Dory and I say that is an advantage of the Enneagram in relationships. It invites me first, to understand myself and engage in this creative tension between what do I need and can I just accept that's who I am. That's part of what it means to be a 2 or a 7 or a 9. That's what comes with the territory. And I don't need to change that. And I'm not going to become a different personality. So this creative tension, this interplay between accepting myself and where is the place where I can make meaningful and reasonable adjustments. The goal is to be the healthiest version of me. So what meaningful and manageable adjustments can I make? that would, first of all, would benefit me. But those adjustments would also benefit and be a blessing to Dory in our relationship. And what if she were doing the same thing, learning more about herself, learning what to accept? And where's the space, where's the margin where I can make some manageable and meaningful adjustments that would be meaningful to Raymond and our marriage?
Yeah. On a small scale, or to some comparison, like the 5 love languages, that, to me, that was a huge revelation when I first read that, because it explains something that you don't think about. It kind of categorizes your, if you will, personality or motivations in something you can understand and then adjust or apply, similar to attachment theory. I know that, you're a big believer in that. Another revelation, oh my God, now I get it. And as I see the Enneagram and what I've read about it, and I'm new to this, I'm one of those people that didn't know what it was, even though it's been around forever. But what you did, make it more simpler and more, as I said earlier, palatable. It perhaps can give us those same kind of revelations. So I'm a woman. I just picked up this book. How do we put this to work to find out what our guy is all about, to finally figure men out?
Well, let's and I'll do this really, really quickly. Give a flavor of what are these 9 types? Type 1 is what we call perfectionist. They're about improvement and right action, ensuring things are done correctly. A 2, which is what I am, is a considerate helper, wants to meet other people's needs in a helpful, supportive way. 3s is a competitive achiever. A doer tends to be practical, success-oriented, task-driven, and can tend to project. It's important to them, and again, it's one of those things of motivations, is to project a successful image. A 4, we might call the intense creative. I live here in the Nashville area. This is a very artistic and creative area. We probably have lots of 4s, the intense creatives, in our area. A 5, a lot of men probably fall into this category. The quiet specialist is a more private individual with an active mental life, observing and exploring how the world works. I will say that sometimes I hear that one of the challenges that women have with a type 5 husband is that he's very, very comfortable with solitude. The 6 we might call the loyal skeptic. They easily tune into potential danger and risk and can be prone to worry and anxiety. They value trust, responsibility, and loyalty. 7s are the life of the party. They're the enthusiastic visionary. They seek variety and stimulation. One of their challenges is staying focused on the topic and getting the projects done. They're very people oriented. The 8, we're almost there at the end. The active controller has a strong presence and personality that values being in control. And then the last one, the 9, which I have a lot of 9 in me as well when I take these assessments. My helper and my peacemaker scores are pretty close. And there's some similarities. Their motto would be, can we all just get along? And they would be inclined to go along to get along. Unmet needs are likely going to happen. And they are going at some point. They are 9s do feel anger. If we keep our anger down, keep it down, talk myself out of it. I'm not going to bring it up. It builds up, and blows out like a volcano. And I say something like, "My God, that's the 7th time you've done that in the last 3.5 weeks." And my partner didn't even know about the previous 6. Or I say that it slips out little tiny holes in the side, and that's passive aggressiveness. So the 9's got a little extra bonus. I need some 9. I need 9s to put a few coins in my tip. Do I have a tip jar? Where's my tip jar?
It's funny what, when you say about self-awareness, that how we see ourselves, and, because we're very self-focused. As you were describing all that, I immediately slotted Paul in, and he's a 7. He's talk to everybody, go, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't right away put myself. So I'm wondering how self-aware I am or not. Is it easier to quote slot somebody else than yourself? Is that something we should know going into this, or is that just me?
It's okay. It's like, sometimes I'll hear, someone in therapy say, I know him or her better than they know themselves. And again, I realize we have some blind spots, but the idea that, I've been with me going on, to be 60, I'll be 65 in June. I've been with me every single day for almost 65 years, and I'm still a mystery to me. So, I want to be really careful at typing someone without their participation.
So in the book, then, as you read it and you take, there's an assessment, I think, in there. So now you know what type you are. What you provide in the book is, as you referenced here a little bit ago, that there's a healthy way of or a healthy side to that and an unhealthy side, and you describe that, right? So that makes us then understand what it is that we need to be on the lookout for in both, well, to understand ourselves,
right.
or to understand our guy.
Yeah, and I'll just, it's okay, I'll use myself as an example. When as the helper, in the healthy version of that, I am compassionate and tolerant and encouraging and supportive. I am, Silka, much more comfortable helping than receiving help. The Enneagram does a good job too of not just flattering us, but our personality style or type often has kind of a shadow side to it. Mm-hmm. So there's this part of me that I'm truly motivated and energized by helping others, but they damn sure better appreciate it. I'm not, yeah. I'm not proud of that. That's like, ooh, because I'm aware of what happens inside when I've feel like I've gone the extra mile and feel taken for granted, or instead of something being appreciated, it's criticized. But my family jokes that I'm an overthinker. When someone lets me merge into traffic, I'm like, thank you. I'm doing lip sync. I'm like, they can read lips in the rear view mirror. I'm going, thank you. And my wife's in the car. She's cracking up, like as if this person can hear me. So I'm waving in the mirror. I have a Miata, so if the top's down, I'm waving. The Camry has a sunroof. I'll stick my hand. Thank you. I want to make sure that I am not taking it for granted that you have let me merge into traffic. So thank you. Call me. Let's do lunch.
You're not from New York.
But if I let you, hey, come in, let me let you merge in front of me, I better get away.
You expect that.
And I don't mean just a little pinky thing off the steering wheel. I get really honest with myself, not to shame myself, but there is some shadow sides to this personality type when it's out of balance, or is not not healthy.
So whatever the great attributes are, that's for each one of them. Then you line those out, and then we can kind of deal with it and learn from that and discuss it. I love stuff like that. I want to go and find out what I am, and how can you put this to best use, especially how we started the segment. How can women no more finally understand men? I guess you need them to participate in this.
I would say, I would suggest to them, you take the lead by doing a self-assessment and saying, hey, I've found this helpful because I want to have a better understanding of myself. I want to understand you better.
Well, I was just going to say, what I think would also encourage men to participate, and I like the way you put that. I think it's in the intro that you encouraging men to see themselves, to see what field they're operating on, and play your position. But questions like you list them here, like, why did I do that? Why does that bother me so much? Am I the only one here thinking this way? I mean, this goes through guys' heads all the time. Where did that reaction come from? And why doesn't my wife understand me? Why doesn't my girlfriend understand me? Those are all addressed in doing the self-analysis, right?
Right. Because those are natural, healthy questions, again, that we are baffled by ourselves. What's going on with me that someone doesn't give me enough of a wave, and I'm like, self-entitled jerk. What's going on? What is that about? I was joking that maybe the word Enneagram is actually Latin for mysterious male decoder device.
When I first read that, when you wrote that, first I believed it. It's like, wow, that's incredible. And then it took me like a few minutes to figure out that you were just joking. Hey, I'm cute, but I'm not very bright. What can I say? No, it's really fun, and the book is fun. I mean, you put humor in it. So, and this is a complicated subject. What would you like to leave for our audience on this? What do you want to make sure that we say here?
I wasn't even planning to say that. I mean, I knew this question was coming, and what just came to mind is, stay curious. And again, it's not about. I mean, here's the thing about introspection and self-assessment and self-analysis. Again, I can make meaningful and manageable adjustments to be my better self at work, at home, and all of my relationships. But that begins with a curiosity of those questions of, why do I do that? Why do I kind of default to that line of thinking? Again, and it's not because I'm flawed and I need fixing.
Yeah, we talk about all the time on the show, of course, just about relationships in general, that in order to not do the same mistakes, etc., is to do the work, understand yourself, develop self-awareness. And this is a great tool to do that. So, Raymond, I will link to all of your information, link to the book. It was so fun talking with you.
Oh, I enjoyed it. Thank you. Always enjoy our time together.
Well, and I sure look forward to another discussion soon on Second Act TV.
Thank you, Silke.